I believe that a company grows when you actually don't focus a lot on the income in the money.
It has become a household name here in the region. It is synonymous with the UAE. Please welcome the founder and the CEO of The Entertainer, Donna Benton.
For those who don't know what The Entertainer actually is, we incentivize people to go to restaurants, attractions, spas, hotels on all a buy one, get one free.
Because you had to start from scratch. You had to go to an outlet and sell the idea.
Initially, I think I really had the passion in it because I came from a family with no money, we struggled, and I really wanted to create a concept to enable other families or children or early adults. You made the unaffordable affordable. And that's really how I had a lot of passion in it.
I noticed that money changes people around you.
Money comes with a price at the same time. It's not all bells and whistles, what everybody thinks it is. Because on your journey along the way of having no money to some money to money, the key is you have to stay humble.
Gladiators, welcome back. It's been too long. Today I have a female warrior here, the founder of the Entertainer Empire, Donna Benton. Welcome to the arena.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm actually really excited to meet you because when I came to Dubai in 2009, I heard about the Entertainer. I actually wanted to work for you.
No way.
I wanted to become a salesperson.
Oh, why didn't you?
Don't know, actually. Because even then, everybody spoke highly of you.
Oh.
They say it's really fun to work there. She's really fair. I was like, wow, and she's younger than me. So maybe it was my ego.
Thank you.
Thinking having a female boss younger than me telling me what to do.
See, males, men and their egos, see?
It probably was. Actually, it was. So welcome to the arena.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here.
Thank you. I love your energy. Tell me about your journey as an entrepreneur.
Oh, how long have we got? No,
I'll stop
I'm only
you
teasing.
within 2 hours.
Okay, I'll give you a high level of my journey. From when I came to Dubai when I was 26. I basically did my schooling, finished in year 12. I'm from Melbourne in Australia. I never went to university. I was not that straight A child at all. I was your average sort of C child. I went straight into the workforce because I knew I wanted to work and earn money and have a future. My parents, they divorced when they were 9, so they'd split up and since I was young. And yeah, I just wanted to do something different, I suppose. So I got offered a job in Dubai. The only place I'd ever been to was Bali. Coming from Australia.
Were you married then, or you were just single?
I had a boyfriend.
Okay.
I had a boyfriend. Okay. So he also came. I came first and then he came after a month. Then we broke up about 3 years later. Okay. But yeah, so I got here. The job which I worked for didn't work out at all. It was actually an awful experience. And then I started my own company, The Entertainer, and that's pretty much how it started.
Was it an original idea, The Entertainer, or did you take it from another company, or can we say that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, for those who don't know what The Entertainer actually is, we incentivize people to go to restaurants, attractions, spas, hotels on all a buy one, get one free. So I certainly didn't create the buy one, get one free model. I just put my own terms and conditions around it. So what I did is it had to be valid 7 days a week and it had to be valid for lunch and dinner. The only exclusion dates were public holidays. And that's really how The Entertainer started.
Were you in sales before? Because you had to start it from scratch. You had to go to an outlet and sell the idea.
Yeah.
Because it didn't exist then, did it?
No, it didn't exist at all.
And Dubai wasn't like it is today.
No, Dubai was almost like a hardship posting when I first came. I mean, I loved it. Well, not a hardship posting, but it wasn't like there was a diners club of 10% off basically. But initially, I think I really had the passion in it because I came from a family with no money. We struggled. I used to use vouchers back home. And I really wanted to create a concept to enable other families or children or early adults what I had where you made the unaffordable affordable, where you could actually go to a water park maybe 2 or 3 times a year instead of once, or you could afford to eat out at a restaurant because it enabled you to get a complimentary main course or an admission. And that's really how I had a lot of passion in it.
You had obstacles, I guess, because every time you bring something new into the market, you're going to get lots of challenges.
Yeah.
What were your biggest obstacles at the time?
The first one is I had no money. to do anything. So I literally had no money. I didn't really know where to get money from. So I just did the grit. I went out there. I did a feasibility study in the internet cafe downstairs of my apartment. I actually, my uncle and auntie lived here at the time, and I went to my uncle and I said to him, why don't you invest, I think it was 50,000 dirham, and I'll give you 30% of the company. And he said to me, you'll never sell more than 200 books. I'm like, what? And he didn't. I asked some of my friends. They said no. And then it was one of the first girls that I met who I actually worked with when I first got here, and her then husband invested a little bit of money. And
for shares in the company, or you gave
for shares in the company.
Wow, I guess
it was 120,000 dirham.
They did quite well.
Yeah, they got back like 30 or 40 times their multiple
Amazing.
in 3 years.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that was.
So I don't hear you saying that you had the outlets giving you rejection. Were there people saying, I don't get it, I don't want it?
Yes.
I'm not going to give it anything half price to...
Yeah, there was. So the first one I went to was actually the Marriott. I look back now and think, oh my God, it was the biggest hotel. I went straight. What about the coffee shop around the corner? It was a gentleman, Jeff Strachan. I love Jeff. He was my first ever sign-in, the first place I went. I remember he signed in 12,500 dirham, which is more money than I came here with $3,000, more money than I came here with. He signed in 7 outlets, and he just really believed in the concept and I suppose me at the time. And so that was great. But then saying that, then it snowballed to other outlets. But there was Jumeirah rejected the first year because they only wanted to do lunch, not dinner. And I said no to them. So I had to keep to my guns and my boundaries, and this is what it is. And
wow, so you actually, I didn't know this. I thought it was a free entry.
No, they had to pay.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, well, they had to because it used to be a book.
First edition. Well, you never printed one before.
I've never even been in printing before.
So you had to go and almost like advertising.
Yes, correct.
And I'm going to make you accessible to thousands of people out there, and I'm going to bring you new clients. On top of that, you're going to give one free against the purchase.
Correct. Yeah, so it's simple isn't always easy.
You don't think you were a professional salesperson?
Well, no, I can sell. I think if you've got a personality, I've always been really good with people and figures. So they're the two. They're my two strengths.
Wow.
So that.
So the outlets still pay.
Correct.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the outlets.
Now you have a reach. You have how many reach people do you have now?
We have
this region?
We have 4 million. 4 million we would have
incredible.
that use actually, Entertainer. We put in $1.3 billion into the economy every year. We're in 9 countries now, which is pretty cool, right?
Do you look back and you pinch yourself?
I do.
It's gone past that now.
I don't pinch myself. I feel proud of what myself and my team have done to enable others to get savings, but at the same time for the merchants to get the footfall and create businesses. So it's a win-win, which is great. There's not a lot of triangles in businesses where it's a win-win for everybody.
So scaling. When was your first employee? Do you remember that first employee?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I do. My first employee, she was in sales. Because you needed entertainer was sales. It was volume. It was a volume game. It was merchants. Without the merchants or the outlets, you don't have a product. Yes. As I said, you can have the best app now in the world, but if you don't have anything to put on it, it's useless. So it was sales, and then it was admin that I employed, and then we just scaled up from it was a UAE product. Then I split it from Dubai to Abu Dhabi because 2 books, 2 separate advertising. Yes. And then the next country we went to was Qatar, and then enabled the GCC because we did a lot of B2B as well. So actually Mashreq Bank was one of our first B2B clients. And then it just scaled.
Going from at one stage, you have to systemize things because to a point, you can run it. You're spinning plates, you're going to accounts department, you're going to sales department. Correct. At one stage, do you think, or is it turnover, you think, no, I'll put systems in. I need to invest in a computer, CRM packages and stuff like this?
To be honest, I didn't really. Salesforce was our first big CRM, and that wouldn't have been until roughly around 2010, to be honest. Women are generally very good at multitasking, sure. But I think when you've got so much passion, you're hardworking, you've got a great team with you, you obviously put in process along the way. Process and then it works. You just have to follow that process.
You say obviously, but to a
I
lot
know.
of
To
listeners,
some,
so
it's not obvious. Yeah,
So
I know.
where do you think you had the talent? Did you put yourself on courses? Did you hire the right people?
I've never done a course in my life.
Wow.
I've never done a course, as I said, never went to university. I've always backed myself in my own work ethic, and you really have to believe in what you do. I think that's one of the key things.
Did you make a lot of sacrifices?
Yeah, I did. Well, I left my family from Australia. I didn't marry till later, and I had kids. My first child, my daughter was at 36. My second was at 39. Right. Saying that, though, I never wanted kids till later as well, because I wanted to always be able to afford to have children and not struggle. Yeah. But it's general sacrifices. I didn't go on holidays. I didn't go and buy Louis Vuitton bags. I didn't do all of that. I drove the same car for 10 years. So those sort of sacrifices, yes.
And what was this amazing culture you created?
Everyone talks about my culture.
They do, do they?
I don't know. I think, look, I'm the type of boss, I'm fair, firm, but fun. And you have to celebrate the wins, but work has to be done at the same time. I definitely have boundaries. I'm very big on time management. I'm very big on dress code. I'm very big on you have to know the job. Saying that, I don't really look at CVs. I look at a person. If they're coming in for a sales position, I generally look at a personality and their work ethic, and they're willing to work, because you can mold them then. Yes. Anyone can bring me in a CV.
It's easy to teach somebody who's motivated, but you can't teach motivation.
Exactly. Go with your gut.
Yes.
I always go with my gut, and it rarely lets me down.
And also being a lady, your intuition is very strong.
Yeah, and I just think I never really had the experience either. I didn't really have a huge CV, and I look for people like me, I suppose. I'm all about the underdog as well. Definitely in some roles like finance, tech, etc. Now they have to have experience.
Yes.
But I'm certainly the person to give someone a chance when everybody else has knocked them down.
I guess you've had to fire people in the past, right? And did it ever become easy? Because for me, because I'm all heart, and I see the inner child in someone, and I want to help them out, and suddenly realize they don't want to help themselves. Right? They're not willing to work out. They're meant well on the day of the interview, but they can't really perform. And there's got to be a time where you draw the line and say,
no, you're not a charity. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with that, in fairness.
Never did.
No. The only time I feel a little bit obviously bad is if there's a reason why, whether it be monetary or generally that. If they're not doing their job properly, I'll give them a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. But then they're not right for the position. It's a business, not a charity. It's just more if they're not doing their job, really. Yes. Or if they're lazy. They have lots of excuses. I used to have this one girl that used to come in. She used to, every Monday it was. Oh, actually it was Sunday then, because we used to have it off. She'd come in and she goes, oh, I've got LBM today. And I'm like,
again?
Oh, I didn't even know what it was. But every sick day, I'm like, what is this? So she goes, I go, what is LBM? Loose bowel motion. I'd be like, oh God, way too much information. And we have bathrooms. And so I get you can be sick and you can do that, but you can see the patterns. So that I don't tolerate. I don't tolerate laziness at all. But I'm very big on what you put in is what you get out. So if somebody's working extra hours, or if they're on holiday, they're putting the hours in, and then they'll say to me, oh, look, my daughter's got her assembly, or I got a dog. I'm like, absolutely go to that. Yes. So it's a give and take.
What's been your driving force all along? We're going to talk about the journey, which has been amazing. What keeps you going? It's not about the money anymore, is it?
No, it's not about the money. It's about, I want to leave a legacy. I think I want to teach my kids work ethic and lead by example. And coming back to entertainer, because I was gone for 5 years from there, I want to enable what the entertainer was to be able to provide the 2-for-1s and the saving money, and to make the unaffordable for the people again, and to bring it back to where it was.
So before you sold, we're going to come to that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you share the vision with your employees? Did they came as a salesperson and you had to see them on a weekly basis to build that culture?
Yeah, I'm very much in the business. Uh-huh. Even today, I'm going to see merchants to sign them in for next year. So I think you don't get respect, you earn respect. And you have to, as a business owner, you have to know every part of that business and keep an eye on every part of that business as well. And you can't be too good not to do something. So I like to lead by example, and I'm willing to help my staff wherever I can and to chip in. And I mean, I'll even do the dishes in the kitchen if that's what it takes. But if someone obviously can't do their job, then they have to not be there.
Yes. But
So
then your ego doesn't stop you from getting stuck in.
no, definitely not. Definitely not. Anyone with an ego goes. I don't tolerate ego. I don't tolerate bitchiness. Anything
I
goes.
say ego is okay to a point where it's confidence, but not arrogance.
I don't do arrogance. I
Yes,
like
confidence
confidence,
is
and I'm
good,
like
yes.
competitiveness. I'm competitive myself, whether it be in work or sport, but it's a healthy competitiveness.
Yes.
And that's what obviously in our sales team, you do leaderboards and commissions and you incentivize them. But as a company, it's the company that has to win, and I'm very big on team.
Beautiful. You got to a stage where you had an offer for the company.
Mm.
How long were you trading until you had that offer? How many employees did they have? How did it come on the table, this offer?
Well,
Or did you put it up for sale? Do you have many people putting offers? You had to choose in between?
I've actually had two. I've had two exits.
I see.
So in 2012, I sold 50% of the company. I had 100% of the company, and I sold 50%. And that money, that was a cash in, cash out element. And that money also enabled us to go digital and to expand into probably another 5 countries. So that was great.
Did you go looking for a partner, or they came?
No, they actually just came. I've never been the one to,
See.
right, we're really exiting and this is what we're doing. I believe that a company grows when you actually don't focus a lot on the income in the money. You have to
Yes.
love what you do. Obviously, you've got to watch
Was it important, the type of partner?
Yes.
Not just their money?
Correct.
Did you enjoy the process? Were they the right partners?
Yeah, it was at the time that was the right partner. And you want a partner, obviously for monetary, but where they can help you
Expansion.
with expansion and probably your development areas, I would call it. But also a PE company also looks to exit within their 3 to 5 years as well.
Yes.
So we had one of the biggest private equity companies, I would say at that point in the world, really, which was amazing. And we grew 30% every year. They got dividends. They were very, very happy. Then it came to 5 years, and then it was time for them to exit at the same time. I was also going through a divorce. I wanted security and stability for my kids. And I did a road show in the States throughout the GCC. We had some really big players wanting to acquire the company. And then it was a company in Bahrain that actually acquired initially 85%.
Which included the 50% of the...
Correct. So they were 100% out with their 50%. And then I sold 35% of my 50%. So I still retained 15%.
Yes.
So we sold to GFH in Bahrain and Alpha Tame in Dubai.
Amazing.
And yeah, so that
Can I
was...
ask you, just before we go, sorry to interrupt, because
No.
I'm super excited about it. The day that you sold 50% of your company, did you drive home thinking, I made it? I actually got some money. I know the money didn't probably all go into your pocket. You reinvested it and grew it. How did it feel?
Yeah, I was pretty excited. I have to say, coming with $3,000, and there was a cash out element at the same. So that's how I bought my house in Phuket. Yeah. We were just talking about that. So I've always not really wasted money that I've had. I've always invested in property along the way. So I was proud. I was more proud of the next one, but I was really proud. But I wanted to achieve a lot more. Not monetary wise, really. There was just a lot more growth that we could do with the Entertainer.
You saw the potential of it.
I saw the potential, exactly. And that was really, we wanted to go global. And we did. We went into 15 countries.
That's amazing. So you're driving home. I remember thinking, as the season was ending, I always felt for you. I was like, if they haven't sold all those books...
Oh, yeah, that was...
And it's like with 1
month
month to go. I used to be concerned about your cost of print.
Oh, the print.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of my mistakes when I first started. I was so excited. I printed 10,000. We sold 997.
So cute. Yeah, so my fears were right. I was like, oh my God, whoever's printing this has got to do something with it.
I know, but then we got the formula quite right.
Of course,
then there wasn't a lot left over, which was great.
85% of the business, that's the day you really celebrated.
That's the day we celebrated. celebrate. That was the day that, and I was going through a really hard time as well, personally, in fairness. So I'm very big on security and safety, just for my upbringing, I suppose, just for my childhood. So I knew then that I was secure. So I did, but I didn't. I had, I think, 10 of my girlfriends or friends around that night. We had a few drinks, and it was a celeb with my children. I actually didn't sign the papers in my office. I signed them at home with my 2 kids.
Well, that's nice.
So, and it was over $100 million, that deal.
That's amazing.
So that was a massive achievement for
Did you
me.
have a plan for the $100 million?
No, I didn't.
You said, okay, I bought the house and I've got like 80 left. What do I do now?
Well, it wasn't all mine, in fairness. I had shareholders. I had shareholders.
53 left.
And I sold 35%, but then just pre-COVID, I actually sold the other 15% as well.
Really? So you totally exited?
I totally exited 100% because it wasn't, they probably had a different vision that I did. And if there was one thing.
That was my next question. Were you in synergy with their values through time?
Yeah. Let me just say,
ways?
think of it as a little bit of a Steve Jobs story.
Okay.
With our old CEO and whatnot. It wasn't a great ending in the end. So I was.
It's incredible when a company is willing to put 100 million in and they don't share the vision of the founder, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a long story behind that, but a lot of it had to do with the C-suite that we had, and they came in. Sometimes when the investors come in, they look at their EBITDA and they're buying current stuff and whatnot. So for them, it looked fine, but then moving forward, I think then it wasn't. Yeah, different vision.
Crazy. And I guess how long did it take before the divorce? Not your personally, with these investors I'm talking about.
It was 5 years, to be honest.
5 years.
So
you could see that they're going in a different direction.
Yeah, well, I was out then. I went and started.
Although you still owned some shares in the company.
No, I sold everything.
Before you sold everything.
Oh, sorry, before I sold. A couple of months after.
Oh, really? So you knew? Wow.
Yeah, so I knew. A couple of months.
And you had your own battles and challenges in your personal life.
Exactly. And I offered to sell my shares, and it was probably at a distress rate as well because I just wanted out. My personal happiness was more important. So I then went on I was fully out, and it took me a lot. It was 2 years. I loved The Entertainer, and it was my commercial baby.
You missed it.
And I did. I really missed the people, the culture, all the outlets. But it's a journey, not a destination, and I got paid out for it, and that's what it was. So then I went on I invested in a company along the way. It's an F&B company called Sunset Hospitality. So then I invested in the holding company as well when I did that. So we currently have 43 brands in 26 countries. We own Sushi Samba, Aura, Signal Sassy.
I didn't know you were involved.
Yeah, one of the shareholders of Sunset. And I actually started my own swimwear company.
Yes.
Kaha.
Yes.
Being Australian, lots of swimwear. I felt there's a niche market here. So I thought, let's just do it. I don't want to walk into a swimwear company and get, your orange, your green, and that's it. I want basics, and I want 12 colours of each to have the variety. And that's pretty much, I got a lot of people I've never been in swimwear before, really. So it was a whole new learning curve for me, and it was exciting.
But you just threw yourself into it.
Threw myself into that. Then COVID hit. So I started pretty much Entertainer when September 11 happened. Yes. Now I start Kaha Kapo when we have COVID. Happened.
And you signed to all the malls, I guess.
So we're in Mall of the Emirates. I wanted to be a flagship mall, so we're in there.
So when you started, COVID hit.
We were manufacturing.
Indeed.
So during COVID, I went and saw MOE.
Okay. I guess it was a good time.
It was a good time, correct, because no one was going to the mall. So that was, it was a good time. Good positioning. And then we went to JBR as well. And online, we do a lot online.
How's
and we do third party.
Good?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
You're learning as you go along.
I'm learning as I go along. I've learned a lot. So I understand it inside and out now. And we've just done our franchise model as well for that.
With Sunset, you're not involved?
No, I'm on the business. I'm on the board and whatnot. But no, we have two great guys, the founders, Antonio and Naz.
Were they trading when you invested? Did they come to you?
Yeah, they were trading, but I was investing independently in outlets. So I've invested in Black Tap, Luigia, Azure Beach Club independently. Right. And then when I sold Entertainer, I went into the holding company.
That's incredible. So you knew them before? I just want to know there are listeners out here who have great businesses.
Yes.
And they want to reach out to entrepreneurs who could potentially invest in their business. Did this gentleman approach you?
Yes, so we knew Antonio and Naz, when they founded their business, really. We invested it was actually a Spanish restaurant in Galeries Lafayette. And then they opened El Sur at the Western. And they were the first ones. They've done amazing, by the way. They've got 5,000 staff now, and that will be a billion-dollar company in the next 3 years.
Yes.
But again, it's at the embryonic stages of it, and I've known them for now 11, 12 years.
So really you invested in them.
You invest in people. I'm a big believer of you.
You didn't say
invest
to
in people.
pull out your P&Ls, show me you just said, I invest in you because I trust that you're going to do well.
Correct. I mean, look, you do have to look at figures and things at the same time, but you generally invest in the person and the concept. I always invest in something that I have passion.
Yeah.
I always say if someone came to me and invested in spare tyres, probably be a no straight away because I've got no passion in it.
Sure.
Because you got to like it and you have to
there is a
enjoy.
sexy side to spare tires, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, that's a man thing, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, anyway.
Well, maybe
So
I'm not the rev head girl.
Have you noticed? Because I'm a thinker, I overthink things, and I noticed that money changes people around you. Have you noticed that? Have you experienced that? Even family members, their behavior towards me has changed, and sometimes it hurts. And I heard quietly recently. A close member of my family befriended me, and then they asked for money when I said no. I never heard from them again, and it hurt. I was like, did they play me? Was it conditional love? So I'm in that dilemma right now. I'm like, how does money change people? And have you experienced
Money comes with a price at the same time. It's not all bells and whistles, what everybody thinks it is. I always say money definitely doesn't buy happiness. But I think because on your journey along the way of having no money to some money to money, the key is you have to stay humble. You have to keep your feet on the ground, which a lot of people do, but then all of a sudden you get a lot more friends, So I really keep my network very close. I know who my friends are and I know who's acquaintance or I know who's networking. And
are you aware right now that you have signals that you recognize?
Yeah.
If people come to you and you think...
My intuition's pretty good. Yeah. I know somebody and look, you make mistakes along the way, trust me. People that have used you, you've made the mistake, you've loaned money, you never get it back. There's the rules. You never loan money to friends or family generally because you lose the money, you lose the friend. Right. So basically when you do loan the money, it's gone in my world. So that's why I generally really don't like to do it. Yes. Because of that reason. I'd rather keep the friend or the family. I say the same
now. I said, every time I've lent somebody money, I've lost them as a friend.
Yeah.
And I cherish our friendship too much to lend you any money.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have it. I'm not going to lie and say I don't have it, but I just don't want to lose you as a friend.
And they need to respect that. And if they were a friend, they would. And as a friend, you can actually see if somebody really needs something. Yes. And if they do, then it's up to you to stand up and be a good friend and chip in where you can, if you can afford it. So that's what I think where the friendship comes in.
So there has been disappointments in this period where people changed.
Yeah, I've been ripped off before. I've trusted. I've had my heart broken. I've been through it all. It sounds like it's all hunky-dory as I'm talking.
No, because you have a positive outlook to life, right?
So I'm the unrealistic optimistic. And that's why I've gone back to entertainer. Now, as I said, I'd sold.
We're going to come to that.
And then that's why I actually went back because I do have a heart.
Being a power woman, being a warrior, woman warrior.
A warrior.
How has it been finding relationships? Because a lot of men, I believe, that's what we're going down the gladiators, a lot of men they've lost their way a little bit. Do you find that the men that you met, if you were in the market, that they couldn't cope? That you don't have to share too much, but do you feel that they couldn't cope, that the fact that you are a powerhouse?
Yeah, look, for me, when I actually sold Entertainer, he's like my second dad. He's too young to be my dad, my uncle. The first thing he said to me, he said, "You're going to be a nightmare to a guy." I'm like, what? Why? I'm so nice and giving and caring. And you know what? He was actually right. Where a man, for me, needs to be secure within himself, no ego. He has to understand where I've come from, where I am now. he has to be kind, caring, nurturing. I want somebody to walk next to me, not in front of me or behind me. I don't want ego. I want to do things together. So basically they have to be secure within themselves.
Do they have to be successful? Because let's say somebody's on a path and then suddenly you drive, I don't know if you have your private jet or you fly first.
No. I
don't know. But
I'm very down to earth
but
and
the
humble.
person's going to think, oh, God, I've got to go and buy a first-class flight now.
No,
And
they don't have
otherwise
to.
she won't respect me. And that, because, we talk about Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, yes.
And I would think if I was Jennifer Lopez's partner and everywhere we go, I have to stand back when she gets the center of attention. What kind of an
It's tough for her.
It's
I can
tough.
imagine she'd need someone very strong. But for me, I actually want somebody for the things that money can't buy. I'm very into thoughtful things. And look, buying a pair of Jimmy Choo shoes or a Louis Vuitton bag is really lovely, but it's not day to day, but it's not thoughtful. Like I would actually rather someone pack me a picnic with a nice cheese platter and a bottle of wine and do it as a surprise. It's the memories, it's the moments. And I think when you've achieved, then it's those things that mean the most. It's the thoughtful things. Don't get me wrong. I also need intelligence, someone with a decent job, someone who can afford to pay rent and chip in. But
and
someone
also somebody you can have a good dialogue with.
Exactly.
Understands running a business or the challenges. You need to be in synergy with each
Exactly. I definitely don't want to be with a bludger, and work ethic is really important for me. But they don't need to be a millionaire for me to love them or to be with them.
They have to be in good shape.
They have to be sporty.
They have to. I thought
They
so.
have to be
they have
sporty.
To have a six-pack,
Yeah, no, they don't have to have a six-pack.
Six-pack.
But they have to want to be able to go and play paddle or tennis or be active or go to the gym on holidays. Or they have to be active, and they have to love a glass of wine, or I love entertaining. They have to be fun. You have to make me laugh. I have a list. I have a list of 26 things, and I have to at least have 20 of those.
You show it to them?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's a secret one. So
It's a secret list.
They just have to keep guessing.
Yes.
It's a typical thing that you never know why your woman's never happy.
But no, it's a kind of plan list. They have to
the
care.
list.
They have to be good with kids. They
Share
have
the
to.
list.
Oh no, because it's a
I
surprise.
have a value book.
Oh, do
if
you?
somebody does business with me, I'll show it to you. I said, these are my values.
Okay.
Does it
Values are
resonate with
important.
you? Does it resonate? These are my boundaries. These are my...
See, I do that. And I also ask them what their love languages are, because, you have to get a little bit of that.
Sure.
The guy you're with, you have to have common interests for one, but not everything has to be the same. For example, I might like summer holidays and someone might like skiing.
Yes.
So, I'm happy to do your ski holiday with your mates or whatever. I'm not possessive. So I think it's unhealthy to do everything together anyway. I think you have to have some time apart, and you have to miss people.
And you miss each other again.
Yeah, you have
and
to
you start
miss.
dating. So,
But your common interest, you have to have 70% in common.
Sure,
and you have to laugh. You have to have fun and laugh.
That's good.
Anyway, there's my profile.
No, I love that. There was a Brazilian swimwear shop in Mall of the Emirates.
Okay.
Were you aware of it? I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I do. I forget what it's called, but
Brazilian,
I know on the ground floor.
On the ground floor, just before the escalators. Yes. And I went to them. They've been trading 9 years. And I went to them. I said, I was hitting the doors. And I said, I can increase your revenue by 25% in 6 weeks.
Oh.
And there were two owners, Lebanese owners, ladies. One was half Brazilian, the other one was full Lebanese. And the half Brazilian said, I love your idea. I'll pay you for 6 weeks and do it. And the other lady said, he'll never do it. I increased the sales by 30%.
Wow. Is that because she said you couldn't do it?
No, I know I
drive?
could do it anyway.
Okay.
I just, if somebody pays me, I over-deliver. So I did 6 weeks training, 2 hours, and I had a record weekend.
Amazing. Congrats.
The person who hired me said, I told you so. The other person said he was lucky.
Oh.
And it was the biggest weekend in 9 years.
Lucky.
It happened to be just have people see what they want to see.
I know. If there's one word that I dislike very much, it's lucky.
Lucky.
You're so lucky. That word does not sit well. Lucky is winning the lottery. That's lucky. Lucky is not being successful. Lucky is not being kind. Lucky is not growing figures at a 30% rate. That's hard work and grit and work ethic.
Experience.
The better you do, the luckier you are, right?
Very much so.
So, yeah.
Very much so. So in how many countries is Entertainer now? Oh, you took it back.
So I took.
Did you buy it
That's
back?
another
or did you
story.
just walk in and go, enough?
No.
You fired. I'll take the kitchen sink with me.
No. What happened? The chairman actually rang me last July, and I always had still a good relationship with them. And he wanted to meet with me, and they just said, we would like you back.
Wow.
And he's like, why? What?
You kind of knew.
Yeah. So we sat for quite a while on many meetings, negotiated, and then I went back. So
do you mind if I say if you bought in?
I am a shareholder again. I won't tell you the T's and C's of it all, but I am a shareholder again. So I came back as shareholder and CEO, and it was basically to run my own show and how it was. So I think in the first 3 months, and I went back, I'd worked harder in those 3 months than when I founded The Entertainer.
The massive change.
It was a lot to change. There was a lot to fix, but it was doable. I didn't realize how much when I got in, but I let go of a lot of people. I re-employed some of my old staff.
Wow.
They relocated from countries to come back and work for me. I brought the company culture back. We've signed an extra 1,200 outlets within 6 months. So it was great because it was the trust element that we were back and we deliver.
It's strange because I noticed there's a lot more outlets when I went on the app.
There's a lot more.
So
and good ones.
Yes.
It's good ones. All the good ones. Yes. I even put the hair salon back. All the girls were like, Donna, when you're back, I put a hair salon in there.
Why do you have to mention hair? That's all the things you could talk about.
But that's the company culture.
I'm a bit sensitive towards that. Let's not go there.
So we actually have a hair salon in our office that does blow dries, manicures, pedicures, massages for the staff. Shaves. No waxing. No waxing, no hair colour. No waxing, no hair colour. No, guys go in there too. So that was a big draw card for everybody in there.
How many employees do you have now?
Just over 300.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah.
In how many countries?
9.
9 countries. So you travel a lot? Do you go from...
I have a little bit, but I always believe as well in you have to empower your senior management and your staff for them to do it.
Do you get reports all the time?
Yeah, I'm very much. I'm even on the group WhatsApps for the sales team. So I think to build something back up and to make it even better, you have to have your fingers on the pulse.
And what's the furthest office from Dubai?
Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah.
So you've gone east?
Yeah, we were in Singapore, Hong Kong and Malaysia, but the other 2 shut down.
Yes.
And we're also actually in the UK as well. We do a B2B product. We do HSBC throughout the whole region and the UK and Singapore. I see. So we do Visa, MasterCard, telecoms. We do a lot of B2B products. So I do get to travel, which is nice, to the UK, Bahrain, throughout the GCC.
Where's your biggest opportunity?
Saudi, as I think everybody is at this current stage. Saudi is very much on our radar. We're focusing a lot on Saudi.
You're not going to go to America. You're not going to go big in Europe.
No.
Do you mind if I ask why?
Because we tried Europe. It's just, I think America's the icing on the cake, and our cake's not big enough yet. To be honest. And look, the GCC is a huge market. People know it. It's our legacy here. Yes. Singapore is the hardest market to crack probably in the world, and we pretty much cracked it there. So look, we'll look at that potentially later, but at the moment we're going deeper rather than wider.
So you've turned it around?
Turned around, yes.
That's incredible.
So and not just me, the team's turned around.
Led by yourself. But when you walked in that day, you took the company back as a CEO. The CEO that you clashed with, was he still there?
Oh no, he left ages ago. There was 3 CEOs in that time.
Wow. And then the company, the chairman who spoke with you, was Entertainer a big part of their organization, or was it a tiny little dot in this organization? I
think it's a big part of it, but they're a bank. So we're not...
You're an investment.
We're an investment to them, exactly. But there was
Can we say which bank or not?
Yeah, it was GFH, a Gulf Financial House in Bahrain. So look, it was probably causing them a bit more pain than they would like, and they were having to get in the business where generally they would just be on the business. Correct. So they knew now that I was coming back. Trust is a very big thing, as we're talking about values. Yes. Trust is a big one for me, and I'm very trustworthy. And they know that as well. So beautiful. I think it's in good hands. Beautiful. They know that.
and you got full rights to expand it, grow it, do whatever you want to do with it.
Obviously, there's board decisions, but yes, we can grow, change, rearrange where we need to.
So how much of your time does, I have to pronounce, Kaha
Kapo.
What does Kaha Kapo
So it's actually
mean?
the first two initials of caring, happy, casual, and positive. So they're the first two initials that we care about you. In our swimwear, we want to make you happy, have a positive body image, and
Was it something that you'd experienced yourself when you went out looking for swimwear? So I can never find mix and match.
Oh, we do mix and match. You'll have to come to us.
And I always thought if I was going to get into swimwear, I have a mix and match set.
Yeah, you have to have mix and match.
Because more and
different
more
size bottoms to tops.
Implants and
agree.
Second feedback is I never go to Victoria's Secret anymore when they changed their branding.
Oh.
You know, when they went to the large size ladies. As a man, I don't even go in anymore.
You don't even know. Yeah, look, it's got to be easy. As I said,
But their sales have gone up.
Oh, have they?
Victoria's Secret sales have gone up.
Victoria's Secret's a huge,
huge
passion. Yeah,
but they've gone for a larger size, ladies, because that's more normal than before. They had this.
Well, you have to have both. We go up to a size 18 UK, and you also have to think about women who are pregnant, put on weight, all of that thing. So different genes, different bodies. Our biggest size sellers are 12 and 14 UK, and it's actually, believe it or not, the biggest size women in the change room, because I always used to work in there on a Friday afternoon as well as the sales girl. The biggest size were more confident in their body than the smaller. I would get women with a size 8 and 10 in the change room go, oh, but I look fat in this, or look at this. I'm like, gosh, look at you. You're in a size 8. Have some body confidence. Come on. And then you'd have someone in a size 16 going, wow, I love this. I look really good in it. And I was so excited for them because I think women need to have that body image. It's sometimes I'm all about health, but it's what's on the inside as well, rather than just on the outside.
And where's your goal with this range? Are you going to open more outlets?
Yeah, we'd like to. We'd like to franchise.
Online, aren't they?
A lot online. Swimwear is a little bit more difficult online because people like to try it on. Yes. It's not like a T-shirt where your size is a medium and you can put it on. Yes. Swimwear is very, it's tight. It's a look and feel. You want to look good in it. You want to feel comfortable. So we always say like our store's like a changing room. People come in once they've purchased, then they know their size, and then you'll get the purchases online. But generally you'll get, unless someone's like the perfect size 8 or 10.
On your range, and then
correct.
So you can't get your products anywhere else but from your outlets. You design them yourself?
We do all design ourselves. We do third party. We're in Debenhams and some other, some 5-star hotels with board shorts, etc. But our sizes are pretty stock standard, in fairness. If you're a size 10, you're a size 10.
So you haven't changed your mind? You're still committed to that?
Yes. Yeah, no, I love Kaha Kapo. Wear it all the time. My kids wear it. Board shorts are great. So, no, I really love that.
You have 2 girls?
No, I have a boy and a girl.
How old is your son?
My son's nearly 11 and my daughter just turned 14.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Are they business-minded?
They are. My daughter knows how to read a P&L and she knows Ibitar, and I try and teach her the life lessons and P&Ls and saving money and
share
work ethic.
What you went through
before algebra, exactly. My son, I try and teach it to him, but he's still a little bit young. He's only 10 still.
Is he on the computer or does he play games?
Listen, he's going to be he's going to create a digital
So how do you feel about, because I have a 9-year-old and a 16-year-old. They actually have a YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
And they do really, really well. We have a program, Kidspreneur.
Okay.
And Junior Gladiators. So we're teaching young, because I deal with so many older people who messed up. Yes. Yeah. And I thought, if I go back to the younger age and fix their money issues, they're not going to have such challenges with money when they get older.
Well, they're moldable.
Yes, they are.
The only problem with the younger generation is now it's very easy for them. They've got Apple Pay and they don't, so it's actually really in the parenting on how you teach your kids. If you give them an allowance each month, pocket money, they have to earn it.
You're not doing anything.
You have to earn it, and you have to have boundaries around that. So whatever I give my daughter, I'll pay for the necessities, food and the clothes she needs. But if she needs anything else, from Victoria's Secret, Charlotte Tilbury or Sephora, she has to pay for that.
Yes.
Or if she wants to go to the movies, then she has to pay for that. So they have to know the value of money. And that's a life lesson.
And her future, does she want to go down university because you didn't have university education, right?
I didn't. My daughter, she definitely wants to go to university.
Does she?
She's very big on, she wants
And
to
how
do
do you
university.
feel about that? Because I kind of manipulated my kids not to. One, it was saving me a couple of $1 million.
Yeah.
And this is not that I thought about that.
Go straight in the workforce, kids.
Yeah, go
it's much
straight
better.
to you, my pension policy. So how do you feel about it? Do you think university is good, education is good?
I believe it would be great for them to go to university, but I'm not the parent that will force them to go to university. If they want to go straight into the workforce, I'm happy for them to do that. If they want to go to university, I'm also happy to support them doing that. But either way, if you don't go to university, you're going straight into the workforce. There's no, I'm taking a 4-year gap
How would
here.
you feel about her working with you?
If she wanted to do that, I would do that. Yeah, it's the respect and everything along the way. I think Chloe would definitely want to do something entrepreneurial. She's very strong-minded. She actually wants to do something for herself. We could do something together, but I think she wants to fly her own flag. And I'm very supportive with that. And Jack at this point, my son, he doesn't want to go to university. And he wants to, yeah, exactly. At 10, they don't know what they want.
FIFA.
Yeah, he wants to own a McDonald's.
That's cute.
That's what he wants to own a McDonald's.
You know, the funny thing is my kids have got Apple Pay.
Yes.
And I know exactly what everything is. Just McDonald's, cling, cling, cling. It's on my account. I can monitor whatever they eat, whatever they're eating, whatever they are on my phone.
Yeah, we know their demographic. Actually, my kids are pretty good.
We had salad. I said, really? You had salad?
You did not have
KFC
salad. Whenever they use Apple Pay, they always ask me. So I've already made that rule.
So up to 50, you don't have to, because otherwise they're going to keep asking. So anything over 50, you have to ask me.
Yeah, they'll just do 50 every 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly,
every 10 minutes.
Wow, 5 meals at KFC.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I'm going to ask you a question. As an entrepreneur, I always felt different to anybody else. So I thought I have to think differently. When COVID came, I refused to have the vaccine.
Okay.
Did you?
I did have the vaccine because I had to, but my dad did not. So look, when someone forces you to do something, you generally push away from it. Yes. And everybody's got different ideas on this. So I'm not right, you're not right.
Do you feel like, I'm travel, I need to have it done? Do you think, no, I believe in this vaccine and it's going to
to be honest, I actually didn't really... I didn't overthink it, to be honest. I was more worried about my kids.
There's often conflicts in the family. Because the wife thinks something, the mother thinks something, the father thinks something.
Well, the good news is I was divorced, so I could.
He doesn't have a say.
Oh well, no, of course he has. James will definitely have a say, but the kids, Chloe had to because to go to school and to travel. Jack did not have anything because he was too young, but then we had to. What I didn't do, I did not want to travel and stay for 2 weeks isolated. Yes. I did not want to do that unless it was an emergency. So I never did that. We pretty much stayed in Dubai and I have a house in Narai Island. So we were very fortunate. So we actually could spend time up there.
Talk about Thailand. So what do you think of Thailand?
Oh, we love Thailand.
Still love Thailand.
Love Thailand. We love our house. Thailand has so many amazing memories for us.
How often do you go?
I actually just celebrated my 50th in Thailand and had
Daryl
Braithwaite play, which was amazing.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So we had an Australian icon and just all my best friends and my family. And it was one of the best weeks of my life. So Thailand has amazing memories for us. My kids learned to swim there. We have lots of people that stay with us. It's like a family retreat, a friends and family retreat. So I'll probably go there about 3 weeks of the year. We're going again in August for 2 weeks.
We're going to Bali on Friday. Have you been to Bali?
Oh, yeah, I just came back from Bali 3 weeks ago.
Think? We're going to Conrad. Have you been to the Conrad?
What location? Seminyak or?
I don't know. On the east side, northeast.
Maybe Nusa Dua, potentially. I've been there about 5 days. Bali is mini Australia. Really? That's what you have to. Bali is very busy. It's mini Australia.
Is it beautiful?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
What's the difference in Bali and
Thailand? Yeah. Phuket. It's not as many Australians there. It's not as busy, I'd say. I always say Thailand's a little bit classier than Bali.
Really?
I believe so. That's what I think. The food's very good in both. Bali's probably a little bit more modernized and probably a bit more expensive now in certainly Seminyak, Canggu, those areas.
You never consider buying in Bali? No?
Bali's got different buying rights. It's
know
not
you get
freehold,
leases,
it's
correct,
leasehold. So
correct.
I would have bought there,
Mhm.
but I just don't like the 24-year lease, and I sort of like places you can buy in there
So you
forever.
still a very earthy touch, trees, you're very natural, walk the beach type of.
Oh, yeah,
because
I'm very
in
beachy.
Dubai, you're distant from nature, really. When you say,
Yeah, you are. I love
even
greenery.
if you walk the beach, apart from JBH, I guess you're in a man-made beach.
Yeah, well, I live near Kite Beach, so I'm on the beach. So
yes, so you get that.
Australians are sporty. I'm that general sporty Aussie girl that likes the beach and the sun and sunbaking, and so I'm that pretty much girl.
You still find time to exercise.
Yeah, I exercise
Work
5 times a
out.
week.
Paddle. You said you played paddle.
Play paddle, I run, I do the gym. I think exercise is really important. I call it free therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely do exercise 5 times a week, doing something.
When it comes to recruiting person, would you look at the way they exercise, they live their life? Is this something you look into if they got discipline?
I don't. That's not part of the job description for them.
Or something you'd look
But
at?
I certainly encourage it within the company to be healthy. We do lunches every month. They're generally quite, healthy. We do gym sessions once a week for the company. I'll encourage them to do like a 10K fun run. We'll pay for it. So I am a big believer of healthy body, healthy mind. But I do certainly have cheese platters and donuts and a McDonald's here and there as well.
Sugar.
Sugar, I do like sugar. I do. I'm very much balanced.
Amazing. Are you recruiting now?
A few positions. We do a few positions. There's always, whether it be sales or tech or look, if somebody's good, I'm always willing to look or where I can put them.
Because that's what I say. I say, if you find a superstar, you find a place for him.
Exactly.
You don't want to miss out on a superstar.
Exactly. You're never going to let them go.
Yeah.
So you always find the position and you have to speculate to accumulate as well.
We're almost an hour.
Wow. It's so easy to chat.
You're amazing. It's been an absolute honor having you here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I love what you do as well. And it's awesome. Keep going.
You're an inspiration. And now I really know why you've been so successful. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I salute you.
Thank you so much.
Gladiators, see you next time. Thank you.